Welcome to Wizard Team, a Black magical podcast for Black magical stories.
Hi everyone, it's Bayana, Robyn, and Porshèa embarking on a journey through the many fantasy stories written by and about Black people. Today we're wrapping up our discussion of Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston.
We did it! Done. We finished. I know we finished last week, but still, it's
yeah.
Like we actually finished the book. That's crazy.
It's crazy, but it was also like one of those. I don't know. I love finishing first books because then you're like, ooh, what happens next? And I remember when I finished it, because I am who I am. I waited for a long time, and then like Amari and the Great came out like not that long afterwards, and then Porshèa sent it, or I don't know how. And then I was like, ooh, I don't have to wait very long. I think it was like a couple of months. And it was just, I love like finishing the first book and then trying that like time when your brain could go like, oh, what's going to happen next? And you can have all of those like, I especially love it when you have time, but not that much time. George R.R. Martin.
I mean, have you read the Song of Ice and Fire series?
I stopped at like book 2 or 3.
Were you reading it as when did you start reading them? After the series, or like after the TV series, or like during...
I read them before. So I got a free book at Comic-Con when Game of Thrones was coming out. They gave out like the first book. And I read that, and then I read like pretty quickly the second and maybe like part of the third, but by the time I finished the second book, the first series was out, and I was like, oh, it's kind of following along with the books pretty well. I'm not going to do this because if y'all know anything about me, I don't like epic fantasy, long journeys. Like, give me a car. I'm not trying to follow these people back and forth across continents on horses. Me neither, bud.
But yeah, so Amari, let's actually. So first, in our wrap up episode, Porshèa put this game in here called Nope or Dope.
I'm excited for this.
I'm excited too. I mean, it's pretty. I feel like it's self-explanatory, but Porshèa, if you want to just like explain it briefly for the people.
Okay. So, like, before I got to Nope or Dope, I went through many different ways of doing this. Like, slay, sachet, like, how are we going to do this? But I feel like keeping it simple, Nope or Dope, basically is we're going to talk through we have a category. We're going to say the category name. And then we're going to talk about the things that we've put into the category for us to give Nope, get that out of here. Or Dope, we with it, it's cool, let's go. You will hear differing opinions from each of us because some people have very strong feelings about things and others do not have as strong feelings, but may have that unveiled. They actually may care more than they thought they would.
It is me. I am some people. She didn't want to say it. It is I.
I mean, I just feel like one particular category we're just going to hear all the things that we may not have been able to hear earlier in the season.
And so y'all will not be shocked at all.
No.
I'm consistent.
So without further ado, let's get into Nope or Dope. The category is fashions. And I need y'all's Nope or Dopes to Du Bois fashion.
Nope.
This is actually harder than I thought it would be.
It wasn't.
Because, like, on first thought, it's Nope. But also, like, it feels like Du Bois is good, like, is helping people with their self-expression, you know? Like, what's his name? Mr. Ware, like, wanted to wear that hideous suit. He, clown suit. Really appreciated Amari in her clown suit. Amari would probably say Nope. But maybe Du Bois has. Didn't they do the shoes with Vanquish? Was that Du Bois?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, I
do
feel
say,
like there's
some
a, I
of-
feel
it
like there's like
depends on the
a
line. It
exactly.
depends on
Like
the
I feel like
fashion
there's a
line.
line.
That line.
Which
of,
collection
like,
is it? Is it the resort
like,
wear?
Aren't they the ones that have the clothes?
Well, no, but
that
the Du
fit
Bois
people,
one where it's like you could just
and the
put
clothes
on
fit
something
perfectly when you put it on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
No,
like, those kinds of
that
things
wasn't
give me dope.
Du Bois. That was another thing too. There is not just Du Bois that did that. There was someone else who had that.
Well, no,
line.
because when Amari had that clown suit on, and the homeboy was like, "Can I try it on?" and it just fit him. Like that.
Yeah.
Is
No,
dope.
yeah. Oh yeah. But the
fashion
closet
of the suit.
But the
dope.
closets were different.
But then, the closet
the
at the
closets were
bureau, I don't know if that was Du Bois or not, but when it was
it said someone else.
when they did that,
woman's
like,
name.
banquet or whatever, and Elsie told Amari, like, "Oh, go, your outfit's in the closet," and it's like, it just fits. It's like her perfect outfit, I guess, or like really like shows her personal style. That is dope.
Du Bois, I don't know if that was Du Bois.
But the rest of it,
like,
and then even the Vanquish shoes, you not giving them the Vanquish, they gotta buy their own branded merch. That's nope. That's a nope too.
I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna go dope, but there are some definite misses.
I feel like with fashion, it is objective. But sometimes tacky is just tacky, and so I'm gonna let Du Bois sit on nope until I see better things come of it. Because like I know there's people who were like, I know that there's a style of like ugly things being cute, and I don't see it for most of the ugly things that are cute unless they're like random small monsters. Those are kind of cute, but like clothing, I don't see it.
That's real.
I'm just a nope. Taken as a whole, the bad outweighs the good. The auto fit is great. Like, it fits you nicely. The auto tailoring, I guess, is probably the best way to say it. The magic tailoring. Ooh, TM. Other than that, everything that was described to me, that was Du Bois. That vacation line, especially at the beginning of the book, was such a hard no that I got to throw it all away. If I have to keep that, everything got to go.
Okay. Next fashion victim, possibly. All Souls Festival. How are you feeling about the fits that people put on, their cloaks, their garb when they were attending? And is it All Souls Festival? That's what I remembered. I might have been wrong about the actual title of it.
For when they went out in their, like, to the ghost,
and they were all wearing
the ghost thing. Yeah,
they had their whole like
the department. What's that department of the? Those were the junior undertakers, right? Like they're like cloaks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very meh about it. So I guess nope, because I'm not like, they didn't blow me away. They just felt very basic,
Yeah. I was hoping that like behind all the secrecy of that, like when it came off the bus, maybe their fits would do something cute, like in the moonlight or something.
Yeah.
And it just gave me.
It was just meh. It was like, oh, we're a cult and we're going to like bay at the moon or whatever. That's kind of what it was giving.
Yeah.
So do better, Department of the Dead, apparently, with your fashions at least.
Something.
Give us something. Don't give us nothing.
Yeah. I think I'm with you guys on the nope.
And then finally, I feel like this is the one that like we probably all agree on as well. The Department of Good Fortune and Bad Omens. Like they all had like, this was like them taking
whatever
full
they
advantage.
want.
Yeah, full advantage of the closet, giving them whatever their heart desires. And it's really cool that like they just open the door and it's there. So I don't know if that's like pre-thought that it's there kind of thing, or like they have to sit and think about it for a second and then get it. Like I wonder how that all works out as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think somebody said, didn't the girl who like escorted Amari there, like she said she had made her dress or something like that?
Yeah.
Wednesday. Or maybe that wasn't her name.
No,
maybe it was her name changed on Wednesday.
It changed every
January or something.
It was January.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely say dope because I appreciate, open dress codes, and they really took it to all the way there, not just like, you could wear regular clothes. Like, no, put on your pajamas. wear your monster costume, whatever. Dress as a cloud. We don't care.
Yeah. I'm giving dope. I am also I liked that. I like the idea of wearing your emotion, your state of mind.
Like a mood ring.
Yeah, wearing your
Yeah.
mood, I guess. And like being able to kind of say like, today I feel like January and tomorrow I might feel like
April.
Yeah, or whatever. And people I like letting people self-identify or like define themselves, and then having the autonomy to do that, and then having a blanket acceptance of that.
Yeah, I like the whole department as a whole. Like whenever you see the professor interact with them, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, it's cute. And then like always on top of like the changing name of January. And then I also like that again, self-expression is huge in fashion, and so being able to like just like personalize it and have it expressed your truest self as you feel in that moment. I think probably like not only is like great for you in that time period, especially as being like a kid and having to like kind of buffer between like conformity and like finding out who you really are, but also just like as a person, like it'll last with you longer to be like, I can make up whatever I want whenever I want to. I don't have to be like restricted to whatever societal norms y'all tell me I have to do. So I love that, and I hope that like department allows for that, just outside of just like for expression. Like hope it works whenever they're working on projects together and stuff like that, like as long as like it's coming from a self-inspired place, it's not restricted, unless it's like harmful, which I hope no one harmful cops in there like that. Okay, the next category is tech in this universe.
No.
Not any of it.
Tens across the board.
For me, like I feel like across like this is probably the best realization of magic and tech I've read. So it was like just for like overall for tech and universe. So getting into the categories of this, like, or like the examples that we put in here are fun. So first off, we have craft on autopilot. So like the ship that Vanquish has, but any other, like they had like saucers in that garage, anything else, anything that can be maneuvered not only by GPS but also by autopilot in a typical vehicle or a vehicle that you would not think about moving around, like an airship.
Yeah,
How do we
I feel like
that?
for going to find the key holder and potentially save my older brother, dope. I don't know how to drive, so let's go. Yeah, I feel like autopilot in general, I'm not against it.
I feel like I would be like dope, as in I love a Google Maps. I love a, cruise control situation. But like autopilot to me is like Tesla's self-driving cars, and that's a strict nope for me. So I can see the slippery slope is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like in the real world, absolutely not. I don't trust it. But like,
yeah, and also the fact that it's like, at least the Jolly Roger, right? It's flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's
and
not
I'm assuming it's flying low enough that it's not up there with the planes, but it's not. I don't know. Yeah. I'm assuming it's not,
super. Yeah,
there's not a lot of traffic, is what I'm saying. So it's just more about getting to your destination. Dope, it seems too strong of a term, but like dope autopilot over Dylan's ass flying.
Yes,
that's specifically dope. But broader implications of autopilot, nope. It's just AI. It's just nope.
Okay. Next up, we have wakeful dreams. How are we feeling about those? Nope or dope?
Honestly, dope.
Nope.
I think they're cool. I feel like yeah, I feel like they're cool. I feel like it's a what's it called? Like not risky way to do fun things.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I could just think of like things that I can't do now. You know what I mean? Like, also just thinking of things like, my knees are not good, so I can't be running around frolicking among whatever magical place I could be at. I don't know, fairy gardens. But I could do it in a wakeful dream.
Wakeful Dream reminds me a lot
of the metaverse.
No, not even there, because that's
you're,
whack.
you're...
It reminds me of like sci-fi shows where like San Junipero and Black Mirror.
That's the metaverse, girl.
I mean, but the metaverse could never. That's why I'm not even putting in the same sentence. That is failed. That is a failed version of all the things that we see in sci-fi. Also, there's this anime called A Cell World where they're all like people have like bio links to play this video game, and then someone hacks it, and they're all stuck there. And if they try to like force eject, then they die. And I'm like, I don't need anything that can get hacked.
Yeah, I don't want any
Matrix. It's giving we are batteries.
I don't want things that are because the wakeful dream is more like you put these things on. You're not putting them in you. You know what I mean? Like any kind of brain chip, like pill, like
But it's like the same
whatever.
Like the Cell World, like you could just put this headset on. And
no, but these are just shades. So I just feel like you put them on, you can take them off. Like I don't know.
Somebody could hack them suckers.
I don't know.
And if it's in your dream, it's all in your head. Then how do you get out?
Obviously, we don't know how the magic works specifically, but I just feel like how they work in this world, it feels chill. If there are other variations, then I feel like I'd have a different answer, but
it's a nope for me, dog.
I think since like whenever like Avengers Ultron was happening, like I expected for it to go in a direction that it did not go in. I expected whenever Ultron's like self like just start downloading the internet, that he was going to freaking like blow through the internet and take over everything using like Wi-Fi and like all that stuff or whatever, and control everyone and control everything like commerce and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is about to be going like their kind of movie, and then it didn't go there. And that's how I feel sometimes about like, I'm like, this is stuff that could like, you introduce it could really be a problem if it were to come into being. And because people don't have the best, I guess, like intentions with a lot of stuff. So it's interesting to see like where that could go if people were using for like military use or whatever. And I don't know how far the series is going to go with like people doing stuff, using stuff for ill, but yeah, I can see what that be, the wakeful dreams being something that gets used against people. But that's just me being suspicious of all things. Okay, so Robyn's favorite. AI elevators.
Nope.
Not even the nice ones?
Nope. The nice ones. The nice ones. Who programmed them to be nice? What version of nice? Nope. It's a nope. It's a no. And the fact that like even like old mischief ass who we thought like, oh, okay, look at her. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like in times of crisis, you know, they just shut that chip off. Nope. It's a no. It's absolutely not. But what do you guys think?
Honestly, nope. Because like I'm not actually like, I actually don't trust AI. So I think that in the way that it's used in the world is cool, and it like helps with like the whimsy of it. But like, actually, I don't need the elevator having a personality and talking to me. Like, no thanks. I'm actually good off that. But in the context of the story itself, I think that it's like a dope bit of world building. But if I'm just taking it like on its own, no.
Same. I really enjoyed how like it adds to the whimsy. I do, and like the like ways that it makes it kind of like takes like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, how in the movie the elevator is like is able to wholly disconnect and do its own like little network thing or whatever. It sounded very similar to like sort of how the structure of the elevators here are in the Bureau. So I thought it was cool to see that and see how like how technology would help that to happen. But I don't like being any more social than I need to be, and the fact that I'm like just trying to get somewhere.
Imagine having
And
to keep up a conversation with an elevator. And you're
no,
trying to
like don't
like decompress. You're trying to like get ready for
right.
like actual socialization.
Like I
No,
have my
or
my earbuds in
socializing.
for a reason. Like don't talk to
Yeah,
me. Like we're good.
yeah. And the fact that they could like snitch on you at any moment is also
Right.
crazy.
Like let's not build up a rapport where you feel like you know enough about me to rat me out for anything. Like we're
Yeah.
good. We're good. Okay,
I
final
guess
for
it's an
this.
added security thing for like, you know, the fact that they have kids in there. So there is that, but still.
And also, like, are they? And they're sharing. You know, they're sharing information across that like network. Like this elevator sharing this information with the elevator. Like, I don't need to know. I don't need y'all to be doing me like that. And there's probably more things that are capturing my data than I know I realize. But I don't need to know that. I don't need that. Okay, final one for this category: sneak handles. Dope or nope?
I say dope. Not just because Elsie made them, but because imagine when we were kids and it was bedtime and we wanted to read. That's all I think about. Like immediately, like, ooh.
And it was bad. You know what was so annoying? It was getting caught with like, and this is pre-cell phone days, so you just got like a little flashlight or one of those mini reader like lights or book lights or whatever, and you're just like trying under the sheets to not get caught, and then you get caught anyway, and you're like, look, I got one chapter left. Just
let me do it.
I just want to get to this final chapter, please.
You know, I had to be that person, like that
to
parent,
Aminata.
And I really was like irritated with her for making me do that. Like I'm just like, why
like,
are you making me
you?
this person? I'm not this person. But I told you to go to bed an hour ago, and I'm like just happened to get up, and you're in here reading. How dare you make me do this? Like I was like irritated because she didn't listen, but I was like even more irritated because I was like, I have to tell you to get off, to stop reading. Like, are you for real?
I used to get so mad at my mom. I'd be like, what parent tells their kids to stop reading? Everybody wants their kids to read. Who does that? Seriously.
I bet you all of our parents told each and every one of us on this call to stop reading at some point. My mom used to send me
absolutely.
and Bayana, actually, me and Bayana, she used to kick us out.
My dad used to send me outside because I used to get home from school and get in bed and read. And he came in one time and was like, no, go outside. And I was so irritated. I just sat on the bench outside and just waited until he told me I could come back inside. I didn't even play.
I love that.
I was like 8. Like I should have been playing. I was like, no.
Childhood memories. Keep in mind, I'm a full like 8 years older than 8 years older than her. Same exact thing, except my mom, not my dad. Which is also, we used to always talk about how my mom and her dad are the same, and then my dad and her mom, who are siblings, are the same, and that's why we are so similar, because we have the same inputs. But yeah. Oop, shit. Sorry. I think we've all been told to stop reading. I like sneak candles. I think, to me, they seem much more magic than technology, even though I recognize that, like, magic is just technology we don't understand yet or whatever. I like that Elsie invented it. And I like that the application is very, like, specific, which is just kind of like a cone of silence or whatever. And it's like this particular thing in this particular space. And as soon as you stop using it, like, you know, it's kind of like battery powered maybe or something. It's like the difference between having something that's like battery powered or like something that is like a local thing versus something that's connected to like Wi-Fi. Like the minute that Elsie invents a way to like hook your sneak candle up to the net, the other net, then I'm out. But like right now.
Oh, we didn't talk about the
limited range. You're about the limited, like the length of like the range of a walkie-talkie. That's all you want.
Yes.
Tech to work.
Yes. I am not a Luddite, but they make points. You know what I mean? Like I'll be on my iPhone. I hate it, but I'll be on it. I got a Kindle. I got 2 laptops. I'm not a Luddite. But points were made.
Yeah. So I guess the other net is also nope.
The other net is dope to me, just because it seems like I don't see much difference between the other net and like the dark web
or regular net.
It's just like a corner of the web that like you need certain things to get to. I don't know if you guys know, there's this show that's on Amazon Prime and it's called Upload.
Yes. I
am very anti that technology.
I have not finished the 2nd season because I've been prolonging it. So
I hope the 3rd. I know that there's supposed to be a 3rd season.
I hope they film it. I hope everything goes together for that.
But Othernet gives me that, where it's just like, I mean, I don't know. Upload is very
Upload is a lot.
Upload is very much a nope.
If you don't know the premise,
it's like framework.
Everyone.
It's like the framework.
Oh yeah, I know.
Sponsored by Amazon. There isn't one person, but like you can like upload yourself into like you have to pay. First off, you're dead.
It's like it's like a phone plan. It's like you can have like a prepaid
like
card
as you go, and like everything is real slow. You run out of your data, and you just stuck for the rest of the time.
Oh, that sounds like that Time movie that Justin Timberlake was in. That was actually, from what I remember, I don't remember it. Like, I remember seeing it, but I don't remember anything about it other than the like.
I was trying to. This is whenever this is pre.
What was it even called?
Anti-Justin days.
Was it Timeless?
Out of Time? Was it Timeless? Anyway,
I never saw it.
I know Timeless because of the TV show, and I watched the TV show.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't think it was Timeless. It was.
I think it was.
I liked the premise, but
I love that I type it in. It's called In Time.
Oh, I was like out of time.
I typed in Justin Timberlake, and it was like Time movie, and I was like, yes, Google, stop listening to me. That's a note. That's a note.
That happened to me earlier today. I was like, I did not tell you that. Like, this is like, it's really weird. This is the first search result because I didn't say anything to you about this. I was about to type it in. Thank you.
Yeah. And because, like, you know me, if I type in Justin Timberlake, it should be like
it should be hating.
Yeah. It should.
What it should be like Justin like and JC. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be like you would say it would be like some kind of like campaign like tell Justin to give JC the credit or whatever.
Right.
Like, that would be your top for Justin.
Let's keep going. What's the next category?
Universal being. Speaking of being out in space.
Ooh.
So we got Sasquatch Mafia.
Dope.
Yes, all of that. Were-dragons.
Dope.
Yes, all that. Magicians.
Dope.
I would say dope. I feel like we don't know them enough, but I think the like magic system and stuff from what we know so far is dope.
I feel like the way that Madame Violet comes into it, I want to know about her realm. Yeah. I need to know what's going on with her. The guy who showed up on the bench, I don't know about that guy.
Cosmo?
Yeah, Cosmo is suspicious. Like, Moreau is suspicious. I mean, evil, but like, you know.
I mean, I guess
Dylan is sus.
I guess I could say nope with magicians. I would say probably nope with magicians the same way I would say nope with humanity. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, there are some good ones, and there are some JCs, right? There are some JC Chazés, and then there are some Nick Carters. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
So you're saying
some Brian Luttrells, if you will. So that's better. That's a better one. Some Brian Luttrells. There's some JC Chazés and there are some Brian Luttrells, but you don't know which is you gonna get. And if it's a toss up, I'm like just like the fashion. If I cannot decide the like quantity, the what's it called, the ratio of JCs to Brian's, I'm gonna say no to the whole thing.
Yeah,
I don't want it.
I feel like
say no.
I feel like Dylan, completely unaware of this, did showcase to Amari like a better another side to magicianship by introducing her to Madame Violet.
Madame Violet, yeah.
Because if Madame Violet were not in this story, I would be like, look now.
I mean, Maria's cool from like the little that we see of her.
Do we know Maria's cool?
That's what I'm saying.
Porshèa's
I'm saying for now,
yeah,
you're right. But I'm just saying, like, but I also, you want to also give the benefit of the doubt of the fact that, like, the Bureau is.
Well, we know Amari's cool.
Yeah, and like
Amari was not raised by the Bureau, and
no, but what I'm saying is like the Bureau
her whole life.
Yeah, so it's just like it's. I say dope purely off of like magic system. Like I think they're cool. In terms of like morals and like, individually, who could say? So far, probably not, but
I would like to know if there are more I just want to know if Madame Violet is representative of a magical society outside of the one that Cosmo is like representing, and what that looks like. Like what? Because she's gone. She's on another realm. So what does that even look like present day? And
I mean that's like, and I think that's the question, right? Is because we so far have only seen Madame Violet as a magician that we think we would hang out with. Because then, I mean, Cosmo, at the most, if we give him the benefit of the doubt, he's socially awkward. But no, because that whole you got to choose. Cosmo's a no. Cosmo's a no. Taking me away from, I didn't even get to check with my mama, just moving me. No, Cosmo's a no. So the only like dope magicians, like genuinely dope magicians that we see are Madame Violet and Amari, and then Maria like is an asterisk. We don't know. We don't know. It looks promising, but but who can say? Porshèa gives us that face,
Portia's like, does it though?
Does it look promising?
Does she look promising? I don't know.
Promising war and death and despair, possibly.
So yeah, I would say like it's hard to say because of the main magicians that we've seen.
Yeah.
Don't shed a good light on them. The ratio is not looking great.
Yeah.
Good to our dope to nope magicians.
And isn't it funny that of the magicians that we know definitely are on it are both Black women?
Hey. I know that's right.
As if Black girl magic is really, it just gives.
I know that's right.
And then the final one for this category, boogeymen. For boogie person.
I'm gonna say nope, mostly because when I was a kid, Don't Look Under the Bed terrified me. Terrified me. Also, I just feel like, please leave me alone when I'm trying to sleep. I just like, let's not do this. Let's not do this. I have a limited amount of time. Like, I need that sleep. Like, I don't play about my sleep. So it's a no for me. Go play with somebody else.
I was gonna say, we do know that like we aren't judging boogie persons from.
Yeah, I mean they do what they gotta do.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? What did you say? R.L.
No, Don't Look Under the Bed.
Don't Look Under the Bed. We're not judging them from that mythology. We're judging from the Amari mythology.
I mean, that's why I added the extra. That's why I added the extra. But
like homeboys over here being like, oh, is that the same one that hit my cousin up in North Carolina? Like, you're like, sir, are we profiling? What are we doing?
We are definitely profiling. I want to say dope just because, and again, I think we talked about this during that same chapter. Like, I'm able to lucid dream, so I'm able to be like, no, I don't want this. Take me out of here. But that moment before I decide that, like, I'm out, I'm noping out.
You know what I just thought of is like, I don't know that we're gonna do this. I don't know if I put it on our list or whatever, but like if we were to read Dread Nation, it would just be us being like, no. I liked those books, but the zombies.
I was not scared. I was not perturbed.
Every time the zombie show, I think it's easier for me to read zombies than it is to like watch them. Which is why I was able to get through it.
The comic, so
without the visual, like to like read without visuals, it was easier for me. So that's why I was able to read it. But every time a zombie scene showed up, I was like, I don't like this. Nope, I don't like it at all. I really hate it. But really if y'all like zombies or like aren't viscerally repulsed or terrified of them, you should read Dread Nation by Justina Ireland.
And if you want Wizard Team to do it, Porshèa and Bayana can do that, and I'll catch y'all on the next book.
unperturbed by Dread Nation. I got into like season, I think it was season 6 or 7, where when Glenn died, people who've watched Walking Dead will know what I'm talking about. When Glenn died, I started petering off, and I think I made a couple episodes after, and then I was done. I can get through scary things if I'm watching it with someone that I can flinch behind, because it's really more that I don't do blood. Like, I really just can't do blood. And so I have to be able to flinch, and I have to be able to like turn away from blood, and then you tell me when it's gone, and then I can watch it again. But generally I'm fine with it. And so, but I don't need that in my dream. And it was happening and I was like, no, let's go.
The list of things I don't do is so long. I don't do blood. I don't do realistic violence. Like, my brother is like,
I'm okay with.
Have you watched?
Did you watch Law and Order?
They don't show you violence. It's all off. It's like kind of cozy mystery type of thing. They run up on a body. The body's dead. They don't.
But that's realistic.
But it happens in like the first 2 seconds, and then doom. Like, it's not like my brother's like, you should watch Sopranos, or like someone tried to make me watch Dexter, and Dexter just be carving them up.
Why? Yeah, would you watch? No,
I don't do that.
I don't watch Dexter.
I don't do none of that. I don't do realistic.
I can barely do freaking Grey's Anatomy. I just turn away from the scene.
I don't do Grey's Anatomy. I have not watched Grey's Anatomy specifically because I can't do doctor shows because I can't do the surgery.
I've been watching Chicago Med, and every time I was like, why are you watching this show? I'm like, because it doesn't happen.
Right, you just look away. Like,
I can normally look away.
Yeah.
Mostly it's just talking about the medicine, or we're cutting in, and then they like exposit. I don't know if doctors actually do this, but I assume they
stuff.
do. But they speak their actions out loud.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I do remember
my sister. I do remember
internal bleeding. We need to do a CT, and then you just like
they have a theater, so sometimes I feel like they possibly do, especially like in Grey's Anatomy is a teaching hospital, so they're talking
so it's this
through.
One,
yeah.
So maybe that's why it's like teaching hospital, so they speak out what they're doing, and then they'll be like, I'm in, and then you're like, cool, I can look again.
I just remember my sister had to get surgery, and it was around the time that she was binging Grey's Anatomy for the first time, and she was like, it wasn't like that at all. She was like very disappointed.
But like, how would she know? Was she not knocked out?
No, she mean just like the stuff beforehand, before she got knocked out and then after. Yeah.
I'm like, girl, if you wanted to be like, you got to bring the drama.
No. The lead up and then the after the fact, she was just like, this was not the same. Okay, we should
keep going.
Yes. Okay, quick. I guess we can do speed rounds, or we're going to the next.
Yeah,
let's do speed rounds. Let's not
speed rounds. Departments.
Okay, departments. Investigations, license and records, dead.
Nope.
Which ones?
Oh, so investigations is a nope.
Licenses
and records is a nope.
Also
and
a nope.
dead is a dope. Is a dope.
I feel like we didn't see enough of the Department of the Dead for me to be able to say. I like
they were like,
I guess I'll say
to the spirits, and we're gonna have a street fair.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess as I'm talking, I'm
but
like,
that's just like a marketing ploy for the department.
I think communing with spirits and like do it like that. I think that's interesting. I'll say dope.
Once I figured out it was about communing with the spirits, and it wasn't like exorcism.
I mean, there's probably a zombie component to the Department of the Dead, though.
If I could talk to Madame Violet and she's just like, tell me your secret, I'm like, cool, let's do this. Let's like.
But there's probably like a subsection of the department that deals with
I'm not a part of that. I didn't see it. I'm not a part of that.
What if they rolling through? What if they walking through the department?
If the zombies are there, then it's a nope for me. I just remember zombies are undead. I don't know. I'm gonna say no. Everybody's a no.
No, so zombies are undead. They're not dead. That's a different department.
They're the same.
Is it? Mm-mm. I think that I don't know.
They are undead. I'm gonna tell them.
You'll be like, you don't belong here.
Department of the Dead, not the Department of the Undead.
Keep it moving.
Go over there with that. That's a different department. I'm gonna turn into the Department of Licenses and Records. Man, that's a different department. I can't help you. You, sir, don't seem to be completely dead. So
I feel like the department we don't have on here
dead.
That I feel like we probably all think is dope is the Good Fortunes, Bad Omens. Like that was good. That was dope. And then I'm also down for Elsie's department. Like the research department.
I couldn't remember the name of it, so I didn't put it down. I was hoping that someone else would.
Yeah.
I just know research.
That's a nope for me.
Yeah, because they made the elevators.
So they just doing a lot of white man science over there that I just
That's the white man.
The white man science, yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. Partners and lovers, Vanquish, Magnus, and Fiona.
I say Magnus and Fiona. I think both dope, but Magnus and Fiona
doper.
Are doper, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like office romances like that, so I'm gonna note them both.
That's fair.
I don't do them in K-dramas like that either. It's always a little...
You find people at work because, we live in a capitalist hellscape, and that's the only place you go. Like, we don't really have third spaces anymore. But then also, you'd be like, that's the messiest place to work.
Very much so. Absolutely.
And now I work from home, so who am I going to find? Luna?
As someone who has worked in probably the messiest place to have a relationship, restaurants, I can't. Yeah. I can't be doing it. Okay, final for this round of Nope or Dope. Villains. Category is villains. And we have Moreau, Van Helsing, and Dylan. Nope or Dope.
I'm gonna say dope for Moreau in terms of like, I think that like as a villain, like I think he was villaining, I think he was doing what he had to do. I'm gonna also say dope for Dylan because I think that like it's an interesting characterization, and I think that the way it was plotted out was really cool. And I'm still like very much like, how did this 12-year-old do all this? That's crazy. Van Helsing though was a nope.
There was one other one. Who was the other guy? It was Moreau and then his brother.
Oh, Vladimir.
I mean, you don't really factor in here.
He's not really around. He's dead, so he's already.
I want to make sure to nope Vladimir because he died so early, so quickly. That's a nope for me, dog. You couldn't even make it.
Couldn't even make it. To season 1.
To season 1, right? So Vladimir's definitely nope. Moreau would have been a dope for me, except for the way he went out at the end, like with the blood all over his face, and like clean that up.
I guess also technically, most of the Moreau that we see isn't even him.
It's someone else.
The apprentice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's a
the apprentice Moreau was a dope.
When
we thought he was in prison, he was giving Loki in Thor: The Dark World. You remember when he his armor, like his glamour went away and he was just sitting there crying as a sad boy, emo boy. That was dope. Apprentice.
Yeah, his apprentice. Yeah, I agree.
Incarcerated apprentice is a dope. Moreau is a nope because you can clean up after yourself. That's disgusting. Having blood trickle down your face. Dylan is a dope, and Van Helsing is a nope.
I give Moreau a nope because I need a thousands of centuries-year-old villain to be giving me riches beyond measure, to be giving me no aesthetic. Girl, I'm
vision. Right. Like, what was your portfolio looking like? You weren't getting dividends, right? I feel like at a certain point, like your money is making money.
Right.
That's why like all of those like immortal beings are so rich. Right. It's not because they work hard. It's just because they just accrue
property over time and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they
just living off the interest at this point.
So that plus he was gaudy. Like, who puts a freaking golden table in a cabin where it's surrounded by weeds and overgrowth? Like, I just villain with some panache, villain with some style, villain with some finesse, and he had none of that. And then he villain explains, and it was just dumb.
And then he got by Dylan in like 2 seconds. As we're talking about it, I'm remembering more, and I'm like, nah.
I mean, for me, it was really the golden table is one thing, but like you said, teleport them to your lair. You know what I mean? Have have a fully.
I know the Sasquatch got something for you.
Amari had more talent in her little finger. She just became a magician, and she was able to paint up a whole display with a freaking paintbrush. And you give us this? This is what you
had time too to clean
up.
Yes, you knew they were coming.
his apprentice put a whole
Yeah.
We're in agreement. Yeah. He could have done more.
He was not a good villain for me. He wasn't villain the way that I needed.
Yeah.
I will controversially, I guess, say that Van Helsing is the kind of villain that you kind of need to see for who they are. I feel like at this age group us get to know what this villain is, and it's not that it's just that like, oh, these people are like they're just rude to me because they're rich or whatever. Like, no, they're really bad people.
Yeah.
And they're gonna use everything they have against you. And unfortunately, as a Black kid, you're gonna encounter this way earlier than a lot of other kids are, and you're gonna have to be able to gird your loins against them. So I don't mind the placement of Van Helsing in the story as a villain, because he's clearly a villain, and I think it does a lot for not that Amari, it's not for Amari, it's like it does a lot for the overall like concept of like, this is not just one person. It's like he has so much power. He is the system in a lot of ways. So you got to be really thoughtful to that, and I like that. Dylan and I like the same reasons that Bayana said, like a 12-year-old, and then someone that you kind of again stay ready. And like sometimes it's the people that are beside you that you need to give a side eye to, and sometimes you have to learn that lesson early, like you do with your systemic villain. So I think Dylan was a really good ad as well.
I guess I'll say, like, I do agree with you. My rubric for Nope and Dope is like non-existent. None of it is consistent at all.
It's just like
some of them I'm giving like actual thoughtful answers, and others are just like, no, I just don't like him. Which I feel like I should maybe say for the audience, like there is no consistency.
Like this is pure hate. Pure hater.
I just don't like that. Everything Porshèa said was correct.
In celebration of 8 years of B&C, we've launched our Baddie Road Trip Patreon campaign. Help us reach our goal of $1,000 a month in Patreon support by becoming a patron at any tier, and stay tuned for fun content, community events, and more all summer long. Head over to www.patreon.com/blacknerdscreate.
Okay. Next one. Well, we're done with the game. These are just like other things we wanted to talk about. Describe Amari and the Night Brothers using 3 emojis. We want y'all to do it too. We're gonna put it on social media, and you can let us know as well. I'm gonna go briefcase, crystal ball. I'm not like, like the dizzy face emoji, just because like everything just is just wild from there. I think those are my 3.
I'm gonna do the crystal ball, the side eye emoji, and then I'm torn between the lightning emoji and like the mind blown emoji. I think the lightning emoji. Crystal ball, side eye emoji, lightning.
I'm gonna go with crystal ball. Like I just had the emoji, my brain left it. Gosh. Okay. So for a minute I was thinking about using the like accumulated monster kind of thing, because it's like there's just a lot monsterish going on in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I wanted to do, I guess I could do like a hotel building or whatever. But I really had a better one. And if I remember it, I'm going to say it, because I had a better one and I'm going to get there.
Next one. Okay.
I was trying to think of like, how do you think the series is going to like end? Will Amari be head magician will quit and like I was trying to think like bigger than like the Great Game, but like, you know, like 19 years later epilogue type of thing.
Oh, like where will Amari be?
Yeah. I cannot find the side eye.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I would like for Amari to
unamused
just get to like explore the world, you know what I mean? Like without the like pressure of being a magician, being a good magician, being like, you know what I mean, like having to prove herself and stuff. Like there's so many really dope things that get mentioned and brought up in the world that I think that for me, I think it would be cool if she just gets to go off and like explore that.
I honestly want to hear more about the train, but before I get there, I want to say that the emoji that I really wanted to put in there, instead of the hotel emoji, should be the cell phone in the hand emoji because of Magician Girl 18.
Yeah, just long term, like I want her to be able to just like explore the world and like have fun in this world because there's so many like cool things happening. So I think it would be cool just for her to get to experience that without the threat of other things going on, and then without like having to worry about proving herself or just having to worry about proving herself to other people.
Yeah. I kind of feel like, so do you remember the end of Orphan Black? And I think it's like Cosima and an old girl, they go off to like give the like cure to all like the clones. They go to like find all the clones and like give them the cure. I kind of see like her and Jaden like going off and like, this sounds much more missionary as I was like saying it in my brain. So not in a missionary way, but like kind of just being ambassadors for the Bureau. I kind of hope that like the supernatural world is outed a little bit and magicians are accepted, and then they just get to be kind of like ambassadors that way. I don't know if they need to be fully outed, but like the
having
legacy,
more like merit kids and stuff.
Yeah, like the legacy system and stuff gets broken down, and then Mari gets to be kind of that like, not spokesperson for good magicians, but just like accepted for being a full magician. They start to let magicians, like magicianship is not a crime, and
they actually teach magician like they actually learn about magicians.
Yeah, and that and that like the merit based legacy kind of stuff ends up being just dismantled. And Amari gets to kind of like lead that charge, but then if she wants to just disappear, she can. She just gets to be like, you know, a semi-famous normal kid. She's like trying to think of like a semi-famous normal kid. Marseille Martin, you know, Blackish ends, and we're like, look at her being cute and doing big things, but also we're not like following her every move.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I want for how I want the series to end is for Quentin to wake up out of the coma, and for he and Amari to go back to the neighborhood and like awaken the people in the neighborhood with like the eye drops or whatever, and like share the magic and it not be something that like they get penalized for. And then I'm really interested and excited to see what happens with, what is the friend's name?
Elsie?
No, the one from the neighborhood.
Jaden.
I thought Jaden was wrong. That's why I didn't say it. I want to. I'm really
interested
to see
wrong?
Jaden.
Jaden is also the name of my cousin's dog. So
no, it's Jaden.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why in my head I was like, that sounds too right. You know, I just like I was like, that sounds like I'm just putting that in there. Yes, I'm really interested to see what happens with Jaden, and his inclusion in the story and like where it goes with him being part, and like what that looks like for the neighborhood too, because I'm sure that like once Jaden gets fully integrated and like into the society, he'll have his own thoughts, and I want to see where he goes with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I want to say I would like Jaden and Amari to have a cute little flirtatious little romance thing, but they do not need to end up married. They are 12 years old. I'm thinking like future as in like when they turn 16.
Do you want to? Would you like to see the series skip,
sweetheart,
like to skip to like her high school?
Yeah, I'm just thinking like future of the universe. Maybe not even like in the series. Maybe the series ends and they're like, what? She's 12 now, 13, 14. Maybe they're 14, 15, and he asked her on a date. But none of that whole like, you know, we're soulmates or whatever. They have a cute little date, cute little puppy love situation, but no pressure after that.
I would like the Van Helsings to have everything.
Maybe a peck. Oh, yeah. And the Van Helsings to go to family therapy.
I would like to see the Van Helsings. I would like to, for everything, it's for the Van Helsings to crumble like ashes in their mouth.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure, absolutely. They can do that. And after the crumbling, they go to therapy.
And I only want the best for Elsie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't wait for Elsie to fully come into her own as a were-dragon. And
yeah. And I hope maybe Elsie finds some more of her people.
Yeah, I hope she finds more about somewhere. I hope she finds some other like people in her family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or if not were-dragons, were people that accept her. But I would like hopefully for her to have were-dragons, because I don't love the idea of being the last, and then all of a sudden you end up with a whole Doctor Who. I don't want to be alone.
But especially like going through puberty, like you want someone to help you go through that. You know, you don't want to be like left on your own as you're going through that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. If not Amari, who else would you like to see as a main character in this universe?
Elsie.
My answer was Jaden.
Ooh, yes.
But Elsie also, I mess with, you know, y'all know I love Elsie.
my answer was Elsie, just because I think, like, now that I've said it, I can't get it out of my head, like Doctor Who vibes of like trying to figure out, like, you know, what happened to were-dragons and like finding them. I think that would be really cool. I have like this like headcanon-y thing that's not fully baked, so don't ask me questions because I'll make it up on the spot as I want to do, but like that her adoptive parents are like not great people and they know more than they tellin'.
They feel very colonizer to me for the way they found her, and I feel like there's questions I have about that.
Yes, and also very like keeping her close and sheltered in a way that is,
and they were like, and you went to that neighborhood without telling us, and I was like, ooh, girl.
Yeah.
Because they know they don't want her to find her people. So yeah, I think that would be.
I wouldn't mind seeing it from an adult point of view, but like specifically like an older Black adult, so like Professor Horace or Professor Horace or someone outside of the bureau. Like,
is Professor Horace homeboy that cannot seem to bring his head with him?
No, that's the one who came back into town on a magic carpet ride.
Yeah,
cool.
The star
ancestor,
casting. Soul casting, something like that. Yeah.
Good fortunes and omens, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you now.
I like to see either him or Madame Violet. Like, I would like to see what happens. Like, I would like to see someone outside of the bureau who had like a full life, and what did that look like with the bureau doing? Or also
like kind of being in the past of the war and stuff. Yeah.
But also another character outside of the bureau. Sasquatch, like, what is going on with that mafia over there? Like, I just want to know what kind of real estate's going on. I feel like that'd be a cute, like, reality show, like, in universe.
What is that one on Bravo? Because we were talking about Selling Sunset.
Sasquatch. Like, I would love to see that, but it's for like shady, like, layers and stuff. Like, I would love it so much.
No, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Okay, and then final question. What does Amari and the Night Brothers mean to you? Like, why? Kind of just going in, I guess, more into like why we chose this, why we feel like this series stands out. Like, why was this why we wanted to... I know we discussed this a little bit at the beginning of the season, but now that we're done, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it just was like a moment of reading it was like, I could totally see, or like, I just kept seeing like young me reading this and being like in love with it. And it felt like, again, so I love an urban fantasy. We started this thing with me talking about how I'm not with the Game of Thrones and the Tolkiens and whatever. I like cars. I like, modern amenities. I don't really love the overuse of technology and AI, but I still think it's an interesting, like, an extensive, like, kind of playground to play in. So I really love that as well, because it's like, you do get this like epic kind of story with the Black girl in the center, which is great, but also like this very modern and like contemporary like take on a fantasy that I found to be super compelling. And I just think of Amari as a character, like, she wasn't perfect, obviously. There were flaws. She was very much like a, let's dive on into the danger. But she was very, like, good. She was like a good person without it being unrealistic and like kind of like the Mary Sue, like,
But also she was like because it's hard. I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of properties are really good at giving main character syndrome, where I don't care about the main character, but I do like I don't care about, as the story goes on, the main character is the least interesting character to me. The other characters are more interesting. Amari does not have that. Amari keeps me with her. She keeps me vested in her, and I like that about the story. While I'm talking about it, Amari, for me, when I put this book down, I think I've said this before, I was like, my was blown. Like, again, and I read a lot. I read.
Really? No.
Tell us more.
I read a lot. I read quickly. I read through things. Like, I'm constantly in emotion, like story to story. And this book, like, really, like, when I put it down, I was like, okay. Oh, and it hit me in a way of like, there's so many books that have come out that had I gotten them at the age level that like they are geared towards at that time I was that age, probably would have had profound effects on me. And this book, even without it being in my age category now, it still had profound effects on me. But I could really see where like 12-year-old me would have been like on a whole other level, especially in comparison to the level of books that were available to me with main characters, even like how few were main Black girls, how few of them were Black girls written by Black people when I was 12 years old. And it means something, because not just because of like the representation of that, but that inherent in that representation is a level of understanding that I didn't realize I could have reflected. Like, whenever he was talking about like the struggles for like food and like the struggles for like being concerned about what her mom's financials were looking like that's stuff that like I did worry about growing up, and like knowing that you're not the only one, and knowing that is like something that like a heroic character in a story can go through the same like kind of level of like functions and concerns that you're going through, is so enriching. And it really does help you kind of like recategorize like how you feel as a person as you're going through stuff. So I really wish that I had seen this then. Wish it had been like available then, but I'm so glad it's here for all the kids who get to get it now. And just the way that it was written, like it was so funny. I was watching Secret Invasion, and they have a moment where there's a little girl outside at night, and it gave me Men in Black, where Will Smith is like, nah, she's carrying a physics book that is way too advanced for her. Why is she out on the street? And I was like, exactly. And then in Secret Invasion that happened, and I was like, she ain't supposed to be there. And then sure enough, there is stuff afoot. And so when I read Amari and his Night Brothers, I had similar feelings that I got when I watched Men in Black, the first one, the first couple of times that I watched it, because it was like, yeah, like you can't be a person in a sci-fi world and not have some questions about like what is going on here. So I love how real Amari and the Night Brothers is about like asking the real questions that you would really so why didn't I know that my neighbor? So I'm supposed to just be okay with that. I'm wearing a clown suit because why? Like I just love that. Like we keep getting that throughout the story, and that like I love that whimsy is built in a lot of fantasy stories. So you're kind of like you question the things, but you also kind of accept them because of how fun they are. And I love how how Amari's accepting, but she's never gonna not be curious. And I love her curiosity gets to get like that level of it's like encouraged. But I also just like I think it's just a really warm story overall, and I love stories with good heart, and this story has a lot of good heart.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like y'all said most of it, but just agreed. I remember reading it the first time and being like, well, I remember my sister reading it, and you know, she's the age she's in that age group or whatever, and so like I remember her just being super especially at the end, just being so into it. And I found like some videos that I took of her when she was like reading the like Dylan reveal. I'm gonna ask her if she'd be okay with me sharing it on Patreon, and if she is, then I'll do that, because they're like really funny because she was just so into it. And I just remember like feeling that way about books as a kid, you know what I mean? But also like having the added part of like the main character like looking like you, having a similar background, all of that stuff. And just like I just remember when I finally got to read it just being really jealous, because I was like, yeah, I mean, I had books that I really loved reading. Obviously, like all three of us grew up as voracious readers, so it's not like we were just like sitting around waiting for this. I mean, we were, but it was like we were still reading other books and were into them in the same way that like,
and like may not have been aware that we could have had this
exactly. We were just kind of like, this is what it is. This is what
you have.
This is what I have. So I'm going to sink into it. But like being able to read it and sink into it and like connect to it on like that added level. I just remember reading. I think I said it like in our first episode and just being really jealous. I was just like, wow, kids, like y'all just have it so good. There's so many amazing like Black fantasy books that have come out in the last like 5+ years, and like it's great to read it now. And then like, you know, there's adult books, there's YA too, so it's like it's great to read it now for myself. But then like especially when I get middle grade, I'm just like, yo, y'all are really like, just like the way that my sister's bookshelf looks is so different from the way that mine did. And so I'm like both really excited about it and also like jealous. Like I'm like, I want that
like
for
publishing.
Me.
Y'all could have had my back.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all could have had my back.
Like, y'all could have got it together when I was a kid. Yeah.
It was just been like, I couldn't even imagine like what it would have been like. So
I was even like looking,
and like, and especially in fantasy, like I would say like, especially in fantasy, like we, you know, I definitely read books as a kid with like Black protagonists, but they were usually contemporary or historical. And all of the like fantasy that I read, I don't even know if they're like, I can't even think that there were any Black characters, like period. Like
I can tell
if
you
they were like they were very like side and not really like doing one-dimensional, not really there.
Yeah.
And so like fantasy, especially because that's like always been where I've like the genre I've been drawn to, just having all of that we get now, it's like, of course now like I'm so excited about this. Like I've already been excited about this podcast, but the fact that we like just get to talk about it and like, yeah, it's exciting.
I think reading middle grades that warm my heart now just kind of showcased to me, because like I've heard my husband's mother is a teacher, and she was a retired teacher, and she used to teach middle school. And everyone says like middle school is the like school grade year. You do not like you do not want to teach at those grade levels because it's just they're going through so much.
It's fraught.
And like hearing this, I'm like, I did not realize like in the moment you just living through it, did not realize like the chaos that is middle school, really. And so like in reading the middle grades and having my heart when I'm like, dang, I didn't realize I need to like heal this middle grade age of me or whatever, but I guess I did. Like, I guess this is what these books are contributing to, is like healing that part of myself that did not know needed that healing, because it really does exist.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. I guess.
Do you want to talk about how that might mean, what that might mean for what we select in the future? Like, does it have to also be this this level of like heartwarming or something for us to?
I mean, no, because I like pain. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was gonna say, I was like, not with Bayana on this podcast. It's not gonna be heartwarming all the time.
Not gonna lie, I love pain, so I like the heartwarming stuff. I do hope that we do. Like, I do want to read more. Like, I think that there are, especially within like the middle grade, like age group of like books that like I would love to discuss on the podcast that I think would be really fun. But also I need the, you know, I can't wait to like cackle while Robyn is in tears. That's what I'm waiting for. We haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten there yet. Not since we've restarted. And so I'm looking forward to that.
I need someone to like clip that and play it at my funeral. What are you gonna say at my funeral now that you've killed me?
Yes.
That is my cousin and one of my best friends. My
pleasure at your pain.
Cannot wait.
I can't.
It's super excited. I also feel like for me, I mean, we were talking like what we were able to and what we were exposed to and stuff like that. And I think like for this new life of Wizard Team, it's really going to be great for even like stuff that has been around, you know, like I haven't read a lot of like Octavia Butler. I know about it. The way my brain is set up, there's just not enough dragons. And werewolves and angst and romance and simmering longing in Octavia Butler for where my reading
you're
is
saying
at the moment.
I thought you just meant period.
Well, period. No, period. Yeah. Period.
More black girls, more dragons.
Yeah, literally. I was like, you had me.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
More black.
Octavia Butler.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bayana's more black girls, more dragons. I am more black girls, more shifters, and paranormal romance. More black girls.
She has a paranormal romance.
More angst. More black girls. More
angst. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
angst and
no. My angst and your angst is not the same.
You don't like angst?
No.
Angst and mutual pining.
You like pain.
Mutual pining.
No, I like angst too. I like both.
More black girls, more mutual pining. That's it. That's what I want. There we go. More black girls, more mutual pining.
Mutual pining is the winner right there, man.
That's really the one. It's the one. So yeah,
it comes through every time. We do mutual pining in a fake date. Oh, that's cute. You can do mutual pining in some
mutual pining in a marriage of convenience.
Yes. Oof.
Let's do it. We say this to say that we're not staying in middle grade. We will.
You will hear romance.
Leave. We'll come. We'll come back. But we're not staying here.
It will always, magical. It's got to have some magic. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. I'm trying. So I just recently read a book that is. The magic is there, but it is a rom-com, and I'm trying to get it on the. I'm gonna try to get it on the docket. I'm gonna try. We go see.
Which one?
We go see. I don't think it can actually be the one that I actually read, but I think Witchful Thinking.
Yeah, of course I read that.
Might work.
Mm-hmm.
Might
make TBR.
it. It's on my TBR too, but the one that I read was like the Society of Extraordinary, the Very Secret Society of Extraordinary Witches.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yeah, I have.
I think they're South Asian.
Yeah, they're not black.
Not black, but that book. I'm hoping translates very well to Witchful Thinking.
It's on my TBR. It's just that like it's like an interracial, right? And he's not a person of color.
Which one?
the Very Secret Society.
No, but she's South Asian.
But he's not.
But he's not, no. But there is also a little black girl, but like it's not. It doesn't meet our criteria for wizard team, but that
like genre.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got things. So real quick before we close out, so the votes are in for MVP and benched for the entire book. Thank you for voting. So we've got for MVP in third place is Quentin.
Drum roll.
Love that for him. Go Quentin. In second place, we've got Elsie.
Whoop whoop,
which is also great.
See that for her.
And in first place, I mean, it's honestly like not even a surprise, is Amari Peters herself.
Hey.
It makes sense. Everybody was voting Amari. Like it was like at a certain point, she was really killing. It's interesting because we've obviously we've in the first iteration of Wizard Team, that main character did not win often. I don't think
as I said, Amari does not have the main character problem we have
exactly
with in other
She's
fictions.
Great. I do want to give a shout out. So Magical Me, like way back in chapter 2, MVP the delivery guy, and the explanation is just he did his job.
We appreciate people who do their jobs because it's the lack of accountability today.
Exactly.
You know who I think should have if she had been in the book more, I might have gotten her as a MVP contender or in the top 3 as Mama Peters because she be coming through in her chapters.
Yeah, she got a good number of votes too.
And she stayed doing her job. She does her job maybe a little bit too much,
but only because she has to make a way for out of no way.
Somebody else in chapter 13 MVP'd Sir Francis Sasquatch III, and said one of the few adults who have offered Amari any help or info so far. Also good. Also, someone else MVP'd Horace the Quiet Storm, and hilarious.
Horace was unavailable, and then when he came up, he did
what he had to do.
He did exactly what was on the docket.
He did how he was on there. All right, we're going into benched. Also, I don't think any of these will be a surprise. In third place, we have director Van Helsing.
Boo!
And I think he only didn't get as many because he wasn't in as many. He wasn't in like all the chapters. I feel like
we could
have
made
won.
Him.
We could have, but I feel like he would have won if he was in more chapters, honestly. Second place is Dylan.
Tomato.
And then first place is Lara.
So it's the Van
Helsing trifecta.
The Van Helsing suite.
They lose.
So much.
They lost completely. Van Helsing's done.
A family of losers.
Day.
A family of losers,
literally,
with a big L.
The Grant family also got a lot of votes for benched.
Grant,
Emily Grant, and her mom.
Yeah,
they
can also go.
Yeah,
I feel like they would be like the family that vacations with the Van Helsings. You know what I mean?
If they knew each other.
If they knew each other.
If they ran in the same circles, they'd be like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We also won the Capri. But you know what the shade is? They probably did see each other in Capri, but like the Van Helsings were like, they like say Laura dropped something, and then the granddaughter picked it up and was like, oh, here you go, and she was like, ugh. Okay, and then just kept moving like a freaking non-bureau person talked to me. What in the world?
Yeah. Some what noted ones. Chapter 8, Lisa benched Bertha and said, "You are in charge of children. Chill."
Some people should not work with children.
No, for real. Like, please relax. Like, we still never figured out what her deal was. Like,
I will say that,
really
like,
don't know.
I am an adult and I am not around children frequently, and I'm like, and I know me. I'm like, I'm probably good. Like, I probably should not be around children on a regular basis because I don't be having the patience, and that's a lot of patience. I don't have it.
I will say also that folks did a really good. Like, I was a little bit surprised that Dylan got so high up on the bench because we word
kept
not
shadow
doing spoiler. Yeah. But folks did a really good job of like benching him without like saying it. So like somebody said the double-headed snake. Like there was something else. Maybe like maybe it was just like the apprentice. Like all
that
of
was
those
a Robyn campaign
that were like, yeah, but like it was good because I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna add that to Dylan because at this point we know it's
That's
Dylan.
who that was.
That's who that was.
That was coded language for you to tell. Like, yep,
exactly.
Magician Girl 18.
Someone said, this is Magical Me, who said, whoever, this is for chapter 11, said whoever thought it was a good idea, wait, hold up, let me just, okay, yeah. Said whoever thought it was a good idea to have a demonstration for all 1,001 careers at once, and then said it's reasonable to think children will sit for hours and actually pay attention to each presentation.
That has to be on the director cross because, like, this is your organization. Y'all haven't figured out a better way to make this happen. Y'all can't do some of these virtual sessions. You can't do half different days for different power hour. Do a tour. Do it as a tour series, and then you talk about it while you're in the departments. Like something.
I think they tried. I think they thought the magical, like, you know, the shock and awe of the like of what they were doing was going to keep folks in, but like at a certain point you see like one magical shock, you've seen them all, you know what I mean, like depending on how long you're sitting there.
But they're not all magical though, that's what I'm saying, because like they set some people up for failure because they had the departments of license and records or whatever go up and everybody was bored, but it's like if you actually took them through, maybe they might be more interested in what was going on there, but you didn't. You let the Department of Investigations get all that time to do cartwheels all over the place, and look at where we are.
Flipping all over the theater. No sense. Just for Magnus to be like, don't sign up for
right. Don't be like me, kid. We look like superheroes, but it sucks. Like, okay.
I hate it here.
Right.
I want to go home. Thank you all for listening. So we're going to be going on hiatus for the month of July. We will be back on August 2nd. With a new book. So, you know, we won't say it now, but keep your eyes peeled. In the meantime, make sure you're following Black Nerds Create on social media, and follow our new Instagram and Tumblr. We're at Wizard Team Pod. You can follow on both, and you'll be seeing all, you know, Wizard Team things. We've got episodes, we've got questions, we've got lots of things planned. It'll be fun. And that's also where you will find out what book we're going to be reading next.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
Birdman hands. Because I can't, you know, we're not seeing a video, but you will be seeing it in video in our next season. Wizard Team is brought to you, if you're a baddie. Wizard Team is brought to you by Black Nerds Create. If you want to keep up with our content, you can check our website out at Luna is absolutely correct. It is blacknerdscreate.com. If y'all don't speak Luna, that's on y'all. Keep it moving. You can also follow us on Twitter at Black Nerds Create, at Iana Wrote It, at Robyn_Rambles, and at Porshèa. Follow us on Instagram and Tumblr at Black Nerds Create and at Wizard Team Pod. Subscribe to our monthly magic newsletter. And don't forget to rate and review our episodes wherever you're finding this beautiful podcast.
Bye, y'all. See you in a month.